Hello, students, and today we have our lesson on, excuse me, integers. And first we have our do now, and you get to talk about us today. You get to talk about what are the characteristics of a great math teacher. What do you want your math teacher to know about you? You can either write this in your do now book, or you can use the drawing feature on OneNote to write right in your do now. You can write your story right there. And I'm going to write, I love math. Okay, in the bottom section later, you'll get to put your do now. So let's get on with the lesson. So today we're talking about concepts of integers. And here are some words that signal negative numbers. I think I could have done a little bit better. Let me erase it. There we go. And let's take negative numbers. They're good to put in red. So some concepts that signal negative numbers, some words would be below, under, negative, overdrawn, lost, withdraw, taken away from, down, debt. Sometimes we consider in distance west being negative and east being positive, or a loss is always negative. Now, we also have words that signify positive numbers, and those words could be above, over, positive, deposit, east, added, additional, up, or increase. In our example here, we see that a $400 price increase is a positive $400. Remember, that's an invisible positive sign there. We do not put the positive sign at the beginning of a number sentence. When we're writing a check and paying $20 for something, that is a negative $20. So we have the negative sign right there. So let's take a look at some of these situations. So we are asked in our practice here to write an integer to represent each situation. So if Hunter saved $15, that would be a savings of $15, and that's a positive number. If the Hawks football team lost 15 yards, that's our keyword right there, lost. If they lost 15 yards on their last play, that would be a negative 15. If our new house is 35 feet tall, that's a positive 35 feet. If the baby gorilla gained 40 pounds, that's a positive 40 pounds. Now, students, you'll notice when the numbers are positive, I do not need to write the positive sign. If they were strung together in a number sentence, then I would, but because they stand on their own, I do not need to use the positive number. If we say a fish was 120 feet below sea level, that would be negative 120. If we say the Wolves scored 8 points less than the Jaguars, less is negative. If Callie wrote a check for $18.50, that is something she has to deduct from her account, so that would be negative $18.50. Careful where you use the decimal point. And if 8 inches of snow melted, so when the snow melts, it's going away. That is negative 8. And here's our sign for inches. So we have some extra practice. So why don't you look at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put the video on pause and try to do them on your own. Okay, I hope you paused the video and tried to do that yourself. If somebody is earning $40 for babysitting, that's a positive $40. If you're taking out a $1,000 loan, you're going to owe that money. So that's a negative $1,000. You have to pay that back. If something decreases in price by $30, that's less $30. If the temperature drops 20 degrees, a drop in temperature is always negative 20 degrees. Now, if you are depositing a $120 check, that's money you've earned or someone's given you. So that is positive, and that's what we like. Everybody wants to have the extra $120. Now, if we're running 5 miles east, we consider east to be positive. So we could show a number line with 0 and with 5 here, and that would be positive 5 in this direction, east. Let's see what else we have. So we are asked to write a situation that can be represented by the number 10 and explain what 0 means in this situation. So you're asked to make up your own real world situation. So you're going to have to do a little bit of writing. If you want to write in your notebook, that's fine. I might make up a situation about eating 10 cookies, but that would be subtraction. How about baking 10 cookies? Baking 10 cookies would be positive. Now, you cannot use my example because I used it. In number 8, we're asked to describe a situation that can be represented by the number -5, and we have to explain what 0 means. So suppose we're fishing and we're at sea level and we see a fish below 5 feet below sea level. That would be -5. Now you've got to come up with your own situation. And here we are described a situation represented by the number -2.5. So I'll let you go ahead and do that on your own. And then you can come back and write your answers. Now, students were asked to do some error analysis. We're going to find out what is wrong with these answers. So we're thinking like someone wrote some answers down and they got them all wrong, and we have to help them out and figure out what was wrong with them. So take a minute and read all of them. There are 10 of them. See if you can figure out what's wrong, and then press play again on the video. So pause for a minute and try to do this on your own. Okay, so let's talk about this. If a shelf holds 15 books, that's positive 15 books, not negative. And that would be the correct answer. Now, I wrote that way too big, so I'm going to try to fix it a little bit. Okay, wrong answer, right answer. If the temperature drops 14 degrees, that should be -14 degrees. And now that's the correct answer. If 60 gallons of water are drained from the pool, it's correct. It should be negative, but that says 600. So we got to get rid of that 0. It should be -60. And let's go down to number 4 and 5. If an elevator descended 30 floors, to descend is to go down. That should be -30. Brian won $4,000 in the lottery. Well, he didn't win 400. He won 4,000. And let's look at the rest of them. Karina dropped 5 coins in a well. It's not a positive 5. That should be a -5. If 12 inches of snow fell, it's not a negative, it's a positive. If Andrew climbed 6 flights of steps, again, that's not a negative, that should be positive 6 flights. Last 2. Alicia poured 20 ounces of water into her cup. That is adding a positive 20 ounces. And Ella paid $400 in taxes. Every time you pay anything, you are taking away. So that should be, let me just cross that out. negative $400. And that's it for today. Keep working hard on those integers, and we'll have another lesson soon.